We'll start with a 1-minute poem in Portuguese that I've written. Vamos começar com um poema que eu escrevi, porque a arte chega onde muitas vezes a racionalidade não alcança. O poema se chama O Canto da Fome Ancestral. A fome ancestral não é só fome, é também ritual. Não filtra ninguém, é geográfica, antropofágica, é também canibal. Foi essa tal fome ancestral que nos trouxe até aqui, que ignora poder parar, de comer territórios, de comer gente, de comer animal. Há milênios essa fome venceu, enquanto comia territórios, corpos, gentes, animal. O canto da fome é o desencanto ancestral. Não é só fome, é medo de morrer, é medo de mudar, de deixar de correr, é medo de se saciar, é só ritual. A fome não é mais necessidade, é banal. Seu canto hipnotiza, mobiliza, aprisiona, manipula, range os dentes, encanta ou finge encantar. Só não aprendeu que pode soltar, de territórios, de corpos, de gentes, de animal. O canto da fome se acha magia, mas é só ritual. Antropofágico, territorial, canibal. O canto da fome se acha bom, mas é mal. A fome pode aprender que não há outro sentido da vida que ajudar o sentido da vida do outro. Sem comer, sem invadir, engolir, esmagar, sem pisar em territórios, gente ou animal. A fome ancestral deve aprender a ser coletiva e não individual. Aprender que comer os outros não era nem mais fome, era só ritual. So we'll begin the talk with a video message from Dr. Sailesh Rao, founder of Planetary Healers. He will present us Planet B, which is a systemic solution to the climate crisis. Thank you.
Good evening. We gather here at COP30 in Belém on sacred Amazonian ground as our Earth reaches a dangerous tipping point. 7 of 9 planetary boundaries have now been crossed. Climate change isn't even among the top 3. Biosphere integrity and novel entities top the list, signaling a breakdown of our planet's life support systems. This crisis is no accident. It stems from systems rooted in false myths of human supremacy, separation from nature, and endless economic growth. Even the UN Sustainable Development Goals reflect this, with SDG number 8 promoting endless economic growth on a finite planet. We are gathered here today not just to raise the alarm, but also to offer a path forward. We call it Planet B. Planet B is a systems transformation rooted in compassion and ethics. It embraces all 17 UN SDGs, but replaces SDG number 8 with Beyond Cruelty Foundation's SDG number 18, Zero Animal Exploitation. This is essential. Our food system is also a top driver of all 7 planetary boundary transgressions. It procures 6 times as much food as we need, and yet it causes 800 million people to go hungry, 9 million people to die of hunger, and 30 million people to die of chronic diseases, mainly from eating the wrong foods every year. While ending animal agriculture solves all 7 planetary boundary transgressions. The Earth's life support systems are complex and fragile. The precautionary principle dictates bold systemic action now. The worldwide vegan movement stands ready to assist this transition. We are here to support the global shift to a life-affirming, sustainable civilization. Planet B is not a utopia. It is a necessity, and it starts with truth, courage, and compassion. Let this COP be the moment the world embraces this necessary transformation. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Marina. At Animal Equality, we want to remind the world that we talk about climate crisis, we are talking about animals too. We are talking about sentient beings, individuals capable of feeling pain, fear, joy, and connection, who are directly impacted by the choices we make as a society. Any serious conversation about the future of our planet must include a crucial question. What kind of relationship do you want to build with the other beings who share this common home? Expand our moral circle is not just an ethical imperative, it is a climate imperative. Recognizing that animals are not resources but lives is what allows us to reshape food system in a way that is fair, deep, and truly sustainable. We are here to ensure that member states recognize a simple truth. There is no ecological transition without transforming how we produce and consume food. At Animal Equality, we will continue pushing this issue to the center of global climate decisions and to the center of our shared moral responsibility. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Brazil. I'm Samantha Lau, U.S. Liaison for Plant-Based Treaty. We are a global campaign, worldwide initiative to fight climate change and protect the planet by centering the food system. We promote a sustainable plant-rich system in order to achieve planetary health as well as optimal human health. We operate with three core principles: redirect, which is shifting the narrative with public information campaigns and redirecting resources from our current destructive activities to those that will transition us to a healthier, more sustainable food system. Relinquish, stop the expansion of animal farming in order to stop the problem from getting worse. The third principle, restore, which is the key to healing the planet. Once the land is free, key ecosystems can be repaired. Forests will be reforested. Earth will be rewilded. We will be able to give land back to the people, to the indigenous people who have been stewards of our land. Restore is the key to all of the negotiations here at COP in Brazil. The Amazon rainforest is home to millions of species. We need the destruction to stop so we can restore, rewild, and start the healing process. A sustainable plant-forward food system will help us stop biodiversity loss, species extinction, and ocean dead zones. It is urgent for UN Framework Convention on Climate Change to adopt plant-based treaty. 58 cities worldwide have partnered with us by endorsing the plant-based treaty. Join us and be a leader in taking bold action to create policy for climate solutions. Endorse the plant-based treaty. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ronald Christopher. I'm the president of the International Vegetarian Union, which is an umbrella organization founded in 1908. We do represent the diversity of vegetarian, plant-based, vegan traditions throughout the world. There are unfortunately still many myths, misunderstandings, and misinformation regarding plant-based diets or even just plant-rich diets. So we need the United Nations bodies, FAO, WHO, but also organizations like GAIN and others. We need them to recognize the important contribution of plant-based diets to the world. That does include recognizing that appropriately plant-based diets can be suitable for all life stages, of course, depending on local and national contexts and the availability of foods. We also need to build more bridges from the vegetarian vegan movement to the rest of the world around us. And we need to build an alliance of countries. Myself, I'm from Denmark, which has published the world's first national action plan for plant-based foods. However, Denmark still has to learn a lot from the global south and its plant-rich traditions. However, I do hope we will get many more global north countries to be inspired by Denmark, and that the countries with too high meat consumption and too little plant consumption can be inspired by the beautiful, beautiful diversity and richness of plant-based diets around the world. I do think it is possible to build these alliances, but we need to listen more to each other, make compromises, and build bridges. Thank you.
Hi there. So, my name is Marcela, and I'm here to talk about how public procurement can be one of the milestones for Planet B. The Brazilian Vegetarian Society has been working to transform how Brazil eats, not only through awareness and advocacy, but by helping governments implement practical, evidence-based solutions that improve public health, reduce environmental impact, and expand access to nutritious food. One of our most impactful initiatives is the Sustainable Municipal Menu, a program that supports cities in introducing plant-based meals into public institutions such as schools, hospitals, and social assistance centers. These meals are healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate, and designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions while increasing nutritional quality. They're mainly for public farmers, family farmers. SVB work is rooted in public policy. As an active member of CONSER, which is the Brazil's National Council for Food and Nutrition Security, we contribute directly to shaping national strategies that promote food access, nutrition, and sustainability. This space is essential because Brazil faces a profound public health challenge. 56% of the adult population is overweight or obese, and non-communicable chronic diseases remain the leading causes of death across the Americas. Food environments must change if we want these numbers to change. That is why plant-based solutions are so critical. They are not just a lifestyle choice. They are a public health strategy and a climate mitigation tool. They help reduce the burden of disease, expand access to diversified proteins, and lower the environmental footprint of public meals. Since 2009, SVB has helped influence the serving of more than 530 million plant-based meals in over 2,600 public schools, 10 hospitals, and 170 social assistance centers throughout Brazil, the land of barbecue. These are meals that nourish children, support families, and show the large-scale dietary change is not only possible, but is actually happening. At SVB, we believe that transforming food systems require both policy, strong partnerships, and evidence-driven action. And we remain committed to helping Brazilian cities lead the way towards healthier people, stronger communities, and a more sustainable future. And I also represent the Pollination Project Foundation in here. Pollination Project is a philanthropic organization that for the past 13 years has been dedicated to empowering individuals who want to make the world better. In this time, we have supported more than 6,000 grassroots activists across 120 countries, helping them turn their ideas into real, tangible projects that create impact in their own communities. Our work is guided by heartivism, the belief that change begins with compassion, and by a strong culture of volunteering. Rooted in principles of veganism, we have a particular focus on transforming food systems, especially in Brazil, while continuing to fund plant-based activists around the world. Through small but catalytic grants, we help projects get off the ground, nurture leadership, and accelerate meaningful change. Our grants are diverse, from influencers raising awareness about plant-based diets to volunteers running community kitchens and local leaders creating solutions for food access. In Brazil, we are especially proud of our partnership with the Ministry of Social Development and FGV. Together, we supported the training of 24 municipalities, bringing government and civil society together to design pilot projects that help address and mitigate urban food deserts. Yes, we do have food deserts here in Brazil. This work is urgent. Even though Brazil is no longer on the hunger map, almost 25% of the population still faces some level of food insecurity. Ensuring that everyone has access to healthy, affordable, sustainable food is not only a social imperative, it is a climate and equity imperative as well. As the Pollination Project, we believe that meaningful change often starts small, with one person, one idea, one seed. And when nurtured, these seeds can transform communities, food systems, and ultimately the world. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to allow me to speak on pricing mechanisms for the livestock. But first of all, of course, there is no true price for killing animals. But given that animal-based foods have so much external costs associated to their production, a price that more accurately reflects the environmental and health costs associated with these products would be appropriate. In other words, if you pollute, you should pay accordingly. However, all over the world, we as citizens are paying our governments to kill animals and destroy our planet. Livestock sectors depend heavily on government subsidies for their financial viability. In fact, the government support to the fossil fuel sector pales in comparison to the support animal agriculture is receiving worldwide. Take the European Union, for example, where I'm from. 31% of the total budget, a whopping 380 billion euros for the next period, goes to animal agriculture. Well, to agriculture, but by far the majority to animal agriculture. This is all taxpayers' money, which is being used to, one, destroy our planet, to inefficiently produce food, to kill animals on a massive scale, to increase the risk for zoonotic pandemics, and finally, it causes massive additional public health spending for diseases related to animal consumption. Now imagine what we could do with this money if the same amount of money was being spent on actual climate solutions, such as transitioning animal farms, reforesting land that is no longer needed to produce animal products, and to stimulate an alternative protein innovation. On planet A, unfortunately, plant-based alternatives, despite requiring only a fraction of the land, water, and inputs compared to animal flesh, and with significant lower emissions, are costing consumers more than animal products in almost every country. On top of that, the money that governments have invested in the protein transition constitutes less than 1% compared to what they have invested in the energy transition. To conclude, the short-term solution is to tax meat and dairy and abolish the subsidies keeping animal products artificially cheap. However, the ultimate solution to get to planet B is to move away from animal-based food systems. This will require subsidies to be redirected to plant-based innovation, precision fermentation, and cellular agriculture. Let's start now.
Okay, hello. Hello, everyone. My name is João Gonçalves. I am the Global Director of the Protein Transition Campaign at Mighty Earth. We are a global campaign organization that advocates to eliminate deforestation and climate emissions from the food system. And for us, a transition to a meat-free food system is a key path to mitigate climate change. Today, despite using 83% of agricultural land, animal farming just provides 18% of global calories. Reducing beef, pork, and chicken by 30% to alternative proteins would reduce emissions equivalent to those from the Netherlands. None of the biggest companies, the biggest meat companies today, has any established goal to shift to plant-based products. And the cost of all this is huge. In the producer countries like Brazil, where I'm from, the deforestation linked to soy and cattle is huge. And the greenhouse gases emissions from Brazil, about 75% are linked to land use and agricultural activities. That makes Brazil the 6th biggest global emitter in the world. As I said, much of the deforestation is linked to soy and cattle production. But these sectors play a critical role in the Brazil emissions as well. At the same time, a recent report that we launched linking deforestation cases in Amazon, Cerrado, and Pantanal with the biggest global meat packers and soy traders shows the clear link between these big meat production companies with the damage to the nature and to the climate. What we ask is for traceability. We are now in a world that the market and the consumers will not accept products linked to deforestation anymore, linked to animal cruelty anymore. That's why it's important to shift. That's why we have this opportunity to having this conference in Brazil when forest has been discussed to also introduce how we want our food system in the future. But it's essential that the meat companies take their part on this agreement. They need to assume and accomplish their deforestation and conversion-free commitments. That's what we expect as a global organization. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Katrina Sky, an impact artist. So let me paint you a visual story. When a caterpillar begins its transformation, something extraordinary happens inside its body. A part of nature most people never hear about. As it enters the chrysalis, everything it has been starts to dissolve. Its muscles, its tissues, its identity melts into a biological soup. And in that collapse, something new appears. Tiny clusters of cells emerge, imaginal cells, holding the blueprint of the future butterfly. But here's a twist. At first, the caterpillar's own immune system attacks them. It thinks these new cells are a threat, a sign that it's dying. So the old system fights to stay the same. But the imaginal cells keep coming. They find each other, cluster, communicate, and eventually become so connected and so coherent that they override the old immune response completely. That's the moment transformation begins. Not through force, but through a new pattern, quietly gaining strength. And today, our world is in that same moment. The old system, industrial cattle farming, oil companies, extractive industries, are behaving like the caterpillar's immune system, defensive, afraid of collapse, clinging to what has run its course, even as it harms the body of the earth. But then there are the so-called imaginal cells, people choosing restoration, people choosing plant-based diets that heal land and water, people regenerating soil, reforesting landscapes, protecting oceans, uplifting communities, people imagining solutions and choosing life. Every vegan meal, every tree planted, every river protected, that is imaginal cell work. Individually small, but together, they create a new blueprint of our planet. And right now, imaginal cells are rising everywhere. We don't need to fight the old system. We simply need to become the new one. We are the butterfly being born, Planet B. Thank you.
Here at COP30, in the beautiful country of Brazil, we international vegan organizations are united to share the most important message of our time. The only solution to save our planet is through love. We must show a greater love to Mother Earth. We must show a greater love to our animal co-inhabitants, and we must show a greater love to ourselves. Every day, at least 3.4 billion animals from our precious lands and seas are killed for human consumption. And the industry that is fueling this mass exploitation is animal agriculture. In the last 50 years, humanity has destroyed 73% of all animal populations and 80% of all marine life on Mother Earth. Moreover, animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation in the Amazon and worldwide. Mother Earth has provided us with everything, and in return, she only asks that we live in cooperation with all life on our majestic planet. And humanity has reached so many critical tipping points that even now, we do not know if we can save our beautiful mother. But one solution gives us the best possible chance: the vegan lifestyle. Every single day, each of us are vegan, we save at least one animal life, 20 kilos of grain, 30 square feet of forest, and 1,100 gallons of water. Through the vegan solution, not only can we fix climate change, but we can also address many other issues we face today, such as water shortage and food insecurity. Also, we love animals. So why do we eat them? Please, join us and become a true hero of our time. Let's save our glorious Mother Earth through love by treating our animal co-inhabitants and ourselves with kindness, respect, and dignity. Time is urgent. It's up to all of us, and we can do it together. Be vegan, keep peace, and choose Planet B. Thank you.
And I'll end up with a song. I'm a music artist. My name is Vifo. I do animal rights, environment rights, and human rights music. Let's go quickly, very fast. We can be planet heroes every day. Choose a kind way to live and eat, making a change. Eating good plant power just feels so right. Plant some trees, watch them grow high to the sky. We can be planet heroes every day. Choose a kind way to live and eat, making a change.